CBS News found Donald Trump's approval the highest it's ever been, and by a wide margin. I mean, this is not by 1 point. This is by like 5 or 6 points, or maybe a bit more. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and we have a brand new poll that was just released from CBS News, and it is a fantastic poll for Donald Trump. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say this might be one of the best polls Trump has ever seen. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to say, but when you dig into the numbers in this poll, you realize quickly that, oh, wait a minute, these numbers are so good for Trump and a complete disaster for Democrats. Now, before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. We gotta talk about this poll because, like I was saying, these numbers are so good for Trump that this might be one of the best polls Trump has ever had. And this is from CBS News. This is not some far-right news outlet. This is not Newsmax or Fox News. This is CBS News, which uses YouGov, which tends to lean way more to the left. That's just YouGov and CBS. Their polls every single year lean heavily to the left. But despite that, CBS News found Donald Trump's approval the highest it's ever been, and by a wide margin. I mean, this is not by 1 point. This is by like 5 or 6 points, or maybe a bit more. Either way, this is a clear sign that, yeah, there is something happening with Trump's popularity. It's actually staying roughly the same from other polls. Like, you have other polls like Rasmussen, Big Data. They all have Trump at roughly 52, 53%, and despite all the drama with Doge, with USA, the Democrats throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Trump, his numbers are staying roughly the same. Like, day one, it was like at 53%. Now, according to CBS News, which again, they've never been particularly high on Trump, it is still at 53%. And you look at the demographics, and you notice something very apparent. The realignment that we saw back in 2020 and especially 2024, it's continuing. No, it's actually accelerating. Look at by age. The best demographics for Trump by age, it's not seniors. It's actually Zoomers in those aged between 45 to 64. I mean, Trump's popularity with young people is crazy. No other Republican gets these numbers. They don't. Usually Republicans, they're like -20. And even Trump's first term, he was not that liked with young voters. But for the first time in many years, a Republican president is actually popular. No, beloved by young people. In fact, the worst demographic for Trump by age are seniors. They are 50-50, which again, that just means they're not positive but not negative either. But compared to every other demographic, especially young people, that is just insane. This same demographic 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was the most Republican demographic. But now it's not. It's far from it. Young people continue to shift right every single day. Which, if you're a Democrat and you see that, you have to be sweating bullets. Because the Democrat Party, they need young people. If they don't got young people supporting them, and in fact, they just support Trump, they're not just, they're not just voting for Trump and they don't like him. No, they love him now. If these demographics continue to trend like the way they are, Democrats are in deep shit. But let's keep going. Look at by race. Of course, white voters are very pro-Trump, but look at black voters. 33% say they approve of Trump. A reminder that Trump only got like 15 to 20% back in November, which compared to other Republicans is huge. But in just a couple months, it has shifted like 10, 20 points to Trump. Hispanics are roughly 50-50. Men are 60-40. Even women are roughly 50-50. These numbers are so good for Trump because it's clear there is a realignment happening. And it wasn't just, oh, 2024 is a fluke. It's clear that no. The realignment, it's continuing, it's accelerating, and you just keep looking through the rest of this poll, and it's all good news for Trump. I mean, look at this. Trump's handling of the Israeli-Hamas conflict is actually very popular. 54% approve and 46% disapprove. And for those that are wondering, yes, This poll was conducted after the Gaza statement from Trump a couple days ago. They actually asked about this, and funny enough, a majority of Americans said it's either a good idea, what Trump proposed, which again, the way CBS phrased it is kind of misleading. They asked, is it a good idea for the U.S. to try to take over Gaza, which is not really what he proposed. But even with the way it was phrased, a majority of Americans said it was either a good idea, which only 13% said it was a good idea, but 40% said not sure / depends. That means a majority are either saying it's a good idea, or we gotta wait and see. Maybe it could be a good idea, maybe it's a bad idea. We gotta wait and see. Which, the way people were acting a couple days ago about this, they were claiming that, oh, it's going to sink his approval by 30 points. He's going to be like -30 by the end of the week and crap like that. No. In fact, it looks like the majority of people, even the way they phrase the question, the majority of Americans are saying it's either a good idea or we got to wait and see. So, again, this idea that this was going to sink Trump's presidency, yeah, that didn't happen. And again, speaking of foreign policy, this was after the trade war with Mexico and Canada. Another thing people said was going to sink him. Oh, Trump's going to lose all of his approval. No, his approval stayed at 53% post-trade war. It's as if people supported what Trump did, and they realized, oh, wait a minute, it worked. Canada and Mexico bent the knee. That's what happened. So this poll is just, the more you look at it, it's like, is this one of the best polls Trump has ever had? Because it seems like everything he's done so far has been perfect and everyone supports it. And you keep going. They asked voters to describe Donald Trump. And this shocked me. Because you would have thought with it being CBS, you would have had some garbage like, oh, insane, racist, or anything like that. They didn't. In fact, the top 4 answers: tough, energetic, focused, and effective. Yeah, this is from CBS News. So there's a chunk of voters that right now, they disapprove of Trump, which again, this is something that's gone on for many years. They don't like Trump. They refuse to admit that they approve of him, but they admit that, oh yeah, he's effective. He is tough. He's focused, and by wide margins. Look at this. 69% nice said tough, that Trump is tough. 63% said he's energetic, which, by the way, remember when Democrats were claiming that Trump is old, he's slow, he doesn't know what he's doing anymore, he's going senile, remember all of that? Yeah, it's as if they were full of crap, and in fact, it blew up in their face. Because when you tell people that Trump is old, he's not going to do anything, they expect him to do nothing. They expect him to do no interviews, no press conferences, nothing. Because Democrats, they were trying to make Trump sound like the next coming of Joe Biden, where he clearly had problems. He was asleep half the time. He had no clue what was going on. That's what they claimed was going to happen. But Trump has done like every day a different interview. He's done a bunch of live signings of executive orders, like in front of all the press. He's taken questions. He's taken not just one question. He's been talking for hours on end some days. It is clear that despite the fact that he's 78, he's still there. He's still there mentally. In fact, he's more energetic than the first term, it seems like, which is crazy to say, but that's what's happening. Right now, people are realizing that Trump is serious. He's taking the job seriously. He is working every single day to make America great again. But the one that I'm shocked about the most is 58% said effective. That's the big one. That is people admitting that, yeah, Trump has been effective. He is effective at what he's doing. He's taking the job seriously. He's focused, which basically means people are admitting that he's doing his job. He's doing his job correctly. He's doing it properly. I mean, all 4 of these are positive. These are positive traits for Trump. And that means even some people that disapprove of him, they're admitting that, yeah, he's tough. Yeah, he's energetic. Yeah, he's focused. Yeah, he's effective. I mean, Democrats, they were trying to paint Trump as old, senile. He was out of touch with everything. But in reality, they're the ones out of touch because the voters, they realized that they were full of shit and Trump is there, unlike Joe. But you keep going. It's like, look at this. They asked voters, do you approve or disapprove of the Trump administration's program to find and deport immigrants who are here in the U.S. illegally? Plus 18. Plus 18. And you go to individual questions. Sending U.S. troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. 64% approve. Yeah, 64% of Americans, that means a bunch of people that don't like Trump, they're saying, yeah, we should send troops to the southern border. Remember when Democrats try to protest that and claim that the American people were against it? It turns out, yet again, they're full of crap. The majority of Americans, they want the southern border secured. At this point, they want the Trump administration to do anything. Do anything you can do to fix the issue now. Send troops to the U.S.-Mexico border. Enough is enough. We are securing the border once and for all. That is huge. That even the majority of Americans are agreeing with Trump here. Which, again, the Democrat Party, the more you look at this poll, it's not just Trump's popular. It just makes the Democrat Party seem completely out of touch. It's like, wait, you're against sending troops to the Mexican border. You're against anything Trump has done, but in reality, basically Trump has done everything popular. Everything he's done is popular. The transgender stuff, that's an 80-20 issue now. And Democrats are opposing Trump there? US aid, it's like 70-30. It's like, what are you guys doing? Do you guys not understand that this is what the American people wanted and in fact voted for? I don't care what Democrats claim. Democrats are claiming that, oh, the American people, they didn't vote for this. They got lied into voting for Trump. No. In fact, the CBS News poll, they actually asked a question about this. And of every question they asked, this might be the best evidence that the Democrat Party, they are completely out of touch with reality. So they asked the people in this poll, whether you support him or not, compared to what he promised in the 2024 campaign, do you feel like Donald Trump so far is doing what he promised in his campaign or different from promised? And right now, 70% of Americans are saying, yeah, Trump is doing exactly what he promised to do on the campaign trail. We voted for Trump, and he's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. But take a guess which demographic is the only one to say he's doing something different. That, of course, are Democrat voters. They're the only demographic where a majority of them said he is doing things different from what he promised in 2024. Yeah, they're the only demographic that are saying, oh, he lied to the American people. The only ones! Look at independents. 71% said, yeah, he's doing exactly what he promised he would do. So the Democrat Party and their voters, they're completely out of touch with everything. They're out of touch with everyone on every single issue. It's like, what are you guys trying to accomplish here? You're the only ones that believe that he is doing stuff differently. No, he promised to put Elon Musk in charge of something like Doge. That's what he promised to do. He promised to fix the government once and for all. He promised to secure the border, have trade wars with Mexico and Canada if we needed to. But the Democrat Party, they banked everything on trying to gaslight the American people into thinking, oh, Trump never talked about Musk. Oh, he never promised to do any of this. But the American people are saying, you're full of shit. He promised to end the endless wars. He promised to fix the government once and for all. He promised to put Elon Musk in charge of Doge. You're the ones claiming he didn't. You're so detached from reality. You actually believe that he lied about this, which is just crazy, but that's the Democrat Party in 2024, or 2025 now. They're so out of touch with everything that even their own voters now, they actually bought into their lies, and now they are out of touch with every other demographic. Now, this poll has been damn good for Trump. I mean, basically every part of this poll has been like, hell yes for Trump. They love Trump now. His popularity is the highest it's ever been. Basically everything he's done so far, people support. But there is one issue that, even before this poll came out, I've had some concern about. And even there's actually really two, but there's mainly one. That, of course, is the issue of inflation. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not saying that Trump has done nothing. He has signed executive orders focused on trying to reduce the prices and stuff, trying to reduce inflation. I get that. But this poll asked, Is Trump focusing on lowering prices enough? And right now, 66% of Americans said not enough. And this is the one concern that I do got. Now, I want to be clear that I am not saying that Trump has done nothing. That's bullshit to say. Trump has done a lot of executive orders, even focused on inflation. He signed a bunch of executive orders focused on trying to reduce inflation. But I will admit that I do think he needs to put more focus on the issue of inflation. Just for the simple fact that that was one of the big reasons Trump won in 2024. Now, of course, inflation is not going to be fixed overnight. These idiots on Twitter claiming, the prices of eggs going up, that's Trump's fault. No, that was because Biden's administration killed a bunch of chickens. That's why egg prices went up so much. That has nothing to do with Trump. And plus, when it comes to inflation and Trump's policies, it's going to take a bunch of months for it to really impact it. That's just the truth in it. And that's just a fact. But even then, I do hope the Trump administration, they focus on lowering prices, because that's one of the big issues that won Trump the election. And there's another issue that, of course, is immigration, which I know that sounds crazy. It's like, wait, Trump has done a lot with immigration. You know, he signed deals with El Salvador, Guatemala. He brought back Gitmo, for crying out loud. But I think the deportation numbers, they need to be a little bit higher. Like, again, I'm not criticizing Trump for doing nothing. He has done a lot. But I do think the issue of inflation and even immigration, I think he needs to put more focus on that. Put more resources towards reducing prices and on getting more deportations. Because, let's be honest, right now, it's not enough. And even Tom Homan and Donald Trump, according to NBC News, they're not happy with the numbers right now. They're not happy. Like, yeah, it started pretty good, but recently it's been going down a little bit, and it's not enough. But again, there's a bunch of reasons why that's happening, but I hope the Trump administration, they look at this poll and say, okay, what we have done so far is good, but we need to make sure we focus on immigration and inflation. If we solve both those issues, which he's kind of solving immigration already, but if you get inflation under control, his numbers could go way up, and Democrats would look even more idiotic, that they banked everything on blaming Trump for inflation. But we will see what happens in the next couple of years. I do gotta say, though, this poll is fantastic for Trump. Like I was saying, this might be the best poll Trump has ever had. Because it's not just approval that's so good. It's the fact that Americans, they trust Trump. They believe he's doing a good job. But there is concern that, hey, maybe he needs to put more focus on lowering prices. Which, again, that's not, you can't really do that overnight. But hopefully the next couple of weeks, Trump signs some executive orders, focus on trying to somehow lower prices ASAP. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.